everyone. Welcome to the first series of a React beginner course. We'll be starting from beginner to advanced level topics, and this is the first video. And every video on the React will be uploaded weekly or twice a week, and they are available under the same playlist. So let's start. Before starting, we need to set up our uh, device. So there are a couple of things you need to download. So initially we need the node.js. So React will run under the node.js, so we'll need node.js. Then we will use npm. So npm is basically a node modules package provider. We need to install it globally. Then we can start our React application. So to install the node.js, you can go to the official documentation of a node.js and install. For Windows and Ubuntu, Linux, Mac, there are different way to install. You can just research and install the node.js. Then you need to install the npm. To install the npm globally, you can simply write in a command terminal npm install globally npm. So I will provide it here, npm install globally npm. So you can install the npm globally. Then you can start your React application. So after the setup is done, we need to know about the CLI. CLI is a command line interface. We basically have two kinds of CLI for the React. One is create React app. Create React app. I will change the font size. Okay, and another is wait. Okay, so create React app is now deprecated, meaning that there won't be new updates coming on for the create React app. And why it is much faster and good to use, because it also generates the boilerplate for every kind of framework in JavaScript, and we can install the JavaScript or TypeScript boilerplate easily. So I prefer the Byte, and React create React app is a bit slow and it is deprecated now. So you can go to the official documentation of a page and you can know more about it. Okay. So and Bit only supports so it is written Bit requires Node.js version 18 and 20. So you need to have the latest 18 version of the node. Okay. Now let's create the Vite app. Npm create Vite, or you can follow the documentation. Now it asks for the project name. We can give React day 1. Let's give it a name, and we can select the framework. So we are going to use React and JavaScript. So you can redirect to your folder, and we need to install the packages. So run npm install. It will take some time. Okay, now you can open the code in a VS Code. You can just write code dot. Yeah, I forgot to mention for a setup we also need the VS Code. Okay, so we are good to go now. Now to run the development server, we can write npm run dev, and in this localhost our application is ready. Okay, so I will summarize the things. So initially we set up our environment. We download node.js, npm globally, and we created our app with the help of Vite. Okay, so that much. Now if you look closely, we have some folders like note modules, public, source, and other files, right? So before I run the app, I run command npm install, if you remember. So npm install is used to install the packages that we will need to run our application. So this note modules folder you see, it is generated after we install the npm. I mean, after we did the npm install. Without npm install, we cannot run our app. Okay. So if you go to package.json, you can see some of the dependency we have installed. This is React DOM, and we are currently using 18 version of React. Okay. So this dependency we are using, we can import it somewhere and use some function from there. And the these dependencies are available in the node modules. Okay, so this is the dependency name and this is the version we are using for this dependency. And so every dependency file will be in the node modules, and this is a public folder where the asset are provided, but we simply include our asset in the asset folder, which is inside the source. So this asset folder contains the images and other static files, right? So this is the use of asset, and in this is a css file, app.jsx. So this app.jsx is a main application, right? Everything we run is centric on the app, right? If we need to run something, if we need to show something, we will write code in the app.jsx. So hello world, and you can see hello world here. Okay, so everything you build and run, it will run from the app.jsx. Okay, so this is a main.jsx. This is a entry level of our application. Okay, so if you can see, it is react.create root, get element by id root, render this. Okay, so what it basically says, the first application that will run from our application is index.html. So you can see here is a id root in a div, okay, in a body. So what happens is, first the main.jsx will run, and inside the root it will place our application. Okay, then only our application will render here. Okay, this is the flow. So our application will run in between this place. Okay, so our application will run between this place, inside this, but there is no content at content, right? It will be shown while it builds, right? So what will happen is, the application main.jsx will open first. Inside the root, it will render our application. So inside the application, so anything we have in the application will be shown on the screen. Okay, so I give you example here of React and React DOM dependency, how we pick the things from dependency. I will show you here. Import use state from React. Okay, so this React is a dependencies, and all the dependency of this React is installed in the node modules, and we are picking use state and other different things from the React, which you will understand slowly. So this is basically the folder structure. Okay, and if you need to create any pages, any components, you will create inside the source. Okay, so I need to create a folder page. Inside page, I will create a folder home, and inside home I will create index.jsx. Okay, const home equals to return p, this is home page, export default home. Okay, I said you before, everything we need to run from the app.jsx. Okay, so I created a home, and this won't be render here, right? We are only seeing the hello world. Okay, to render this home, we need to import the home to the app.jsx. Okay, I will remove the unnecessary code first. So what I am saying is, everything we need to run, everything we need to show, we need to show it from the app.jsx. Now I build the home folder in the page. I need to import that home to the app.jsx, then only it will work. So how to import? Open home, and it will show you the recommendation, and you can just import it like this. Now you can see this is home page. Your home is now render. Okay, so everything you need to run, you need to run from the app.jsx. Okay, so I will tell you quickly about the import and export things. To run this home, I mean to import this home to the app.jsx, we need to export the home. Okay, if we don't export, then it won't run, it will show some error. Okay, because we are using the home and it is not exported from the home, right? We are importing home from the page home, but we aren't exporting the home, so it will not find any home from this page, right? So we need to export it. Export default home. Okay, then only it will find and it will be rendered. Okay, so the number one tips, you need to export the page component and import it, and import it here, and you need to give a path. Okay, what you need to do is, you need to export the component, you need to write the path, and you need to import it here, then only it will work. Now there is two way to export the component. One is like this, I will comment it. And one is like this, export const. So this is called default export, and this is export. Okay, so this is default export and this is export. So only difference between them is, if we do this kind of export, we need to import it like this. Okay, if we don't export it like this, then it will show some error. Okay, so if we do export like this, we need to import it like this. Okay, so what is the use of, like, what is the difference between them? So what is the difference between them, I will tell you. If we do like this export, we can export multiple things from the same component. We can export home C, we can export home D. Okay, we can export multiple thing. If we only do export, we can use everything like home C, home D, right? We can use three things from three or more, like we can use numerous thing from a single place. And if we do default export, then we can import only one things from here. We can write const home D equals to return export default home D. Okay, it will show some error. A module cannot have multiple default exports. Okay, so there won't be any multiple export, we can only do this. Okay, and we need to import it like this, so keep it in mind. Okay, now just a minute. Setup environment, I think we know about CLI, we know about folder structure, we know about something about packages, but we will know it more later. And we know about import export. Okay, so you need to know more on how to import the how to give the path, right? So this is sort of a basic thing you need to work on. And I think there is some confusion for you about the packages, but we will cover it later in this video. So I think this is just a starting video. So I will declare this video for today, and we will come with more content, more session soon. That's it. Thank you. Wait for a new video. Thank you. Bye.